Let me tell you about Maya. Maya was 24 years old. She lived in a small city. Every morning, she woke up with the same dream. She wanted to speak English fluently. She wanted to think in English. She wanted to stop translating every single word in her head, but every day felt the same. She would open her mouth to speak English and then pause. Her mind would race back to her native language. She would search for words. She would build sentences in her mother tongue first. Then slowly, painfully, she would translate them into English. Word by word, sentence by sentence. It was exhausting. Have you ever felt this way? Have you ever wanted to say something in English, but your mind kept pulling you back to your native language? Like you're trapped between two worlds? That was Maya's life. She had been studying English for 6 years. 6 long years. She knew grammar rules. She had a big vocabulary list. She could pass tests. But when someone spoke to her in English, her mind went blank. When she tried to respond, there was always this delay, this painful delay. One day, Maya was at a cafe. A tourist walked up to her and asked, "Excuse me, do you know where the nearest bookstore is?" A simple question. But Maya froze. In her mind, she heard the question in English. Then, automatically, her brain translated it into her native language. She understood it. She knew the answer. The bookstore was just 2 blocks away, but then she had to translate her answer back into English. The bookstore, it is 2 blocks from here. You go straight, then turn left. The words came out slowly, awkwardly. The tourist smiled politely, said thank you, and walked away. Maya stood there, frustrated, angry at herself. "Why can't I just speak?" she whispered. That night, Maya sat in her room. She looked at her English books, notebooks full of vocabulary, grammar exercises, everything organized and neat. But something was wrong. She had all this knowledge, but she couldn't use it naturally. She realized something painful that night. She wasn't learning English. She was learning about English. There's a difference, a huge difference. Learning about English means you study the language like a subject in school. You memorize rules, you translate sentences, you think of English as something separate from you. But learning English, really learning it, means something else. It means making English a part of you. It means thinking in English, feeling in English, living in English. Maya understood this now, but understanding a problem and solving it are 2 different things. She didn't know where to start. Maybe you feel the same way right now. Maybe you've studied English for years. Maybe you know a lot of words and rules. But when you try to speak, there's always that translation happening in your mind, that invisible barrier between your thoughts and your words. If that's you, then Maya's story is your story too. Part 2. The question that changed everything. Maya decided to do something different. She joined an online English conversation group. Every week, students from different countries would meet on video calls and practice speaking English together. The first session was terrifying. Everyone introduced themselves. When it was Maya's turn, she smiled nervously and said, "Hello, my name is Maya. I work as I like to..." Every sentence felt like climbing a mountain. After the session, Maya felt discouraged. But she didn't quit. She came back the next week, and the week after that. In the 4th session, something happened. There was a teacher leading the group. His name was David. He was patient and kind. After listening to the students struggle with their English, he asked a question that changed everything for Maya. He said, "Can I ask you all something? When you speak English, what language are you thinking in?" Everyone was silent. Then one student said, "I think in my native language first, then I translate." Another student nodded. "Me too. I can't help it." David smiled. "I understand. Most learners do this. But here's the truth. If you want to speak English fluently, you have to stop translating. You have to start thinking in English." Maya felt a wave of frustration. "But how?" she asked. "How do we do that? I've been trying for years." David leaned forward. "That's the question, isn't it? How? And I'll tell you the truth. It's not easy. It takes time. but it's possible, and it starts with one simple idea. Everyone waited. You have to stop treating English like a translation of your native language. You have to start treating it like its own world, a world with its own logic, its own feelings, its own way of expressing ideas. Maya wrote this down, but she still didn't fully understand. It sounded nice, but what did it actually mean? What were the steps? David continued. Let me give you an example. When you're hungry and you think about food, what happens in your mind? Maya thought about it. When she was hungry, she didn't think the word hungry in her language and then translate it. She just felt hunger. And then images came to her mind. Images of food, specific dishes, the smell, the taste. David nodded. Exactly. You don't translate feelings. You don't translate images. You experience them directly. That's how you need to start experiencing English, not as words to be translated, but as direct experiences. For the first time, Maya felt a spark of hope. Maybe this was possible. Maybe she could actually do this. Part 3. The first step. Simple thoughts. Maya decided to start small, very small. David had given the group their first exercise. For the next week, try to think in English for just 1 minute a day. Not speaking, just thinking, simple thoughts, what you see, what you feel, what you're doing. 1 minute. That didn't sound hard, but when Maya tried it, she realized how difficult it actually was. She sat in her room and looked around. She tried to think in English. I am sitting on my bed? Wait, did she think that in English, or did she translate it? She tried again. The room is quiet. Again, that translation feeling. Her mind automatically wanted to go back to her native language. She felt frustrated, but she remembered what David said. Start small. Be patient. Your brain has been thinking in your native language for your entire life. You can't change that in 1 day. So Maya kept trying. The next morning, while brushing her teeth, she thought, I am brushing my teeth. Simple. Direct. In English. While making coffee, she thought, the water is boiling. While walking to work, she thought, the sun is warm today. These were tiny thoughts, simple observations. But Maya was doing something important. She was creating new pathways in her brain. She was teaching her mind that English could be a direct language, not just a translation language. Days passed, then weeks. At first, thinking in English for 1 minute felt awkward and forced. But slowly, something began to change. The thoughts started to feel more natural, more automatic. One morning, Maya woke up, and the first thought that came to her mind was, I'm tired. In English, directly, no translation. She sat up in bed, shocked. It was such a small thing, 3 words. But it was the first time she had thought in English without trying, without forcing it. It had just happened. She smiled, a real, genuine smile. This was the beginning. Part 4. The Power of Talking to Yourself. Maya's progress continued, but it was slow. Some days were good. Some days she fell back into translation mode. But she didn't give up. In the next conversation session, David introduced a new technique. Now that you've practiced thinking simple thoughts in English, it's time to go deeper. I want you to start talking to yourself in English. One student laughed. Talk to myself? Like a crazy person? David smiled. Exactly like that. And I'm serious. Talking to yourself in English is one of the most powerful ways to train your brain. When you talk to yourself, there's no pressure. No one is judging you. You can make mistakes. You can stop and restart. You can practice as much as you want. Maya had never thought about this before, but it made sense. That evening, while cooking dinner, Maya tried it. Okay, what am I doing? I'm cutting vegetables. I need to cut them smaller. This knife is not very sharp. Maybe I should get a new one. She spoke out loud in English to no one but herself. It felt strange at first, awkward, but also freeing. She kept going. Now I'm adding oil to the pan. It's getting hot. I can hear it. Now the onions. They smell good. This was different from just thinking in English. When she spoke the words out loud, they became more real, more solid. Her mouth, her voice, her ears, all of them were involved. She wasn't just thinking in English, she was living in English. Over the next few weeks, Maya made this a habit. She talked to herself everywhere, while cooking, while cleaning, while getting dressed, while walking. It's raining today. I should take an umbrella. Oh, I forgot where I put it. Maybe it's in the closet. Yes, here it is. These weren't important conversations. They weren't deep or meaningful, but that wasn't the point. The point was repetition, practice, making English a natural part of her daily life. And something amazing started to happen. The more Maya talked to herself in English, the less she translated. Her brain was getting used to expressing thoughts directly in English. The delay was shrinking. The invisible barrier was starting to break down. Do you see what was happening? Maya wasn't studying English anymore. She was using it. She was making it personal. She was making it hers. Part 5. Emotions in English. One day, Maya had a bad day at work. Her boss criticized her in front of everyone. She felt angry, embarrassed, hurt. She came home, closed the door, and sat on her couch. Tears filled her eyes. And then, something unexpected happened. In her mind, she heard her own voice say, "I feel so humiliated." In English, the word humiliated came to her directly, not translated, not searched for. It was just there. She paused. That had never happened before. She had felt an emotion, and the English word came to her naturally. This was a breakthrough, a real breakthrough. Maya realized something important that day. Thinking in English wasn't just about describing what you see or what you do. It was about expressing what you feel. Emotions are universal. Everyone feels happiness, sadness, anger, fear, love, but each language has its own way of expressing these feelings. And if you want to truly think in English, you have to learn to feel in English. Maya started a new practice. Every night before bed, she would reflect on her day and describe her emotions in English. Today, I felt anxious about the presentation. I felt proud when my friend complimented my work. I felt lonely this evening. She didn't write these down. She just spoke them quietly to herself or thought them in her mind. She was teaching her brain to connect emotions with English words directly. Weeks passed. Months passed. Maya noticed that more and more of her thoughts were happening in English automatically. Not all of them, not even most of them, but enough to make a difference. When she saw a beautiful sunset, she thought, "Wow, that's breathtaking." When she tasted delicious food, she thought, "This is amazing." When she was worried about something, she thought, "I hope everything will be okay." These thoughts came naturally now, without effort, without translation. Maya was changing, her brain was changing, English was becoming a part of her. Part 6. The mistake that taught her everything. One day, Maya was chatting with a friend from the conversation group. They were talking about their dreams and goals. Maya wanted to say something deep, something meaningful. She said, "I want to find my passion, but I don't know how to discover it." Her friend paused, then gently said, "I think you mean, I don't know how to find it." We don't really say discover my passion that way in English. We usually say find my passion or discover what I'm passionate about. Maya felt embarrassed. She had made a mistake. She had used the wrong phrasing. But then her friend said something that changed her perspective. "But you know what? I understood you completely. And the fact that you said it without pausing, without translating, that's progress. That's huge progress." Maya realized something in that moment. She had been so focused on being perfect, on saying everything correctly, that she forgot the real goal. The real goal wasn't perfection. The real goal was communication, expression, connection. When you think in English, you will make mistakes. You will use the wrong word sometimes. You will create sentences that sound a little strange. That's normal. That's part of the process. Native speakers make mistakes too. They use informal grammar. They create new expressions. Language is alive. It changes. It adapts. What matters is that you're expressing yourself, that you're connecting with others, that English is becoming a tool you can use naturally, not a test you have to pass. From that day on, Maya stopped worrying so much about perfection. She focused on expression, on communication, on making English a natural part of her life, and the more she relaxed, the more fluent she became. Part 7. Dreaming in English. 6 months after Maya started her journey, something extraordinary happened. She had a dream, a normal dream. She was walking through a park, talking with a friend, laughing about something funny. When she woke up, she realized something incredible. The dream had been in English. She hadn't consciously decided to dream in English. It just happened. Her brain had processed the dream entirely in English. The conversations, the thoughts, the emotions, all in English. Maya sat up in bed, amazed. She had heard that when you start dreaming in a language, it means that language has become deeply integrated into your mind. It means you're not just learning it anymore. You're living it. This was the moment Maya knew she had truly changed. English wasn't a foreign language to her anymore. It was a part of her identity. But here's the truth. It hadn't been easy. It hadn't been fast. It had taken time, patience, daily practice, small steps, mistakes, frustration, doubt. But she had kept going. She had trusted the process. And now she was here. Part 8. The method that changed everything. Let me pause Maya's story for a moment and talk directly to you. Maybe you're listening to this and thinking, that's a nice story, but how do I actually do this? What are the real practical steps? I understand. So let me give you Maya's method, the step-by-step process she followed to start thinking in English. Step 1. Start with simple present tense thoughts about what you see and do. Don't try to think complex thoughts in English right away. Start small, look around you, describe what you see in simple sentences. The sky is blue. I am drinking water. The music is loud. Do this for just 1 minute a day, then increase to 5 minutes, then 10. Step 2. Talk to yourself in English about your daily activities. Narrate your life. Speak out loud when you're alone. Describe what you're doing, what you're seeing, what you're planning. I need to take a shower. I'm looking for my keys. I should call my mom later. This trains your brain to create English sentences quickly and naturally. Step 3. Label your emotions in English. When you feel something, name it in English. Don't analyze it. Don't translate it. Just label it. I feel tired. I'm excited. I'm worried. This connects your emotional world to English vocabulary. Step 4. Think in English about your plans and decisions. When you're deciding what to eat, what to wear, where to go, think through these decisions in English. Should I have coffee or tea? I think I'll have tea. I had too much coffee yesterday. These internal dialogues train your brain to use English for real thinking, not just description. Step 5. Stop translating individual words. Think in full ideas. This is crucial. When someone asks you a question in English, don't translate the question into your language. Find the answer and translate it back. Instead, try to understand the idea directly in English and respond in English. It will feel uncomfortable at first. You might answer more slowly, but over time, this direct processing becomes natural. Step 6. Immerse yourself in English content that interests you. Watch shows you love in English. Listen to podcasts about topics you care about. Read stories that excite you. When you're interested and engaged, your brain absorbs language naturally. You start to internalize sentence patterns, expressions, and ways of thinking. Step 7. Be patient with yourself. This is the most important step. You won't change overnight. Some days will feel easy. Some days you'll fall back into translation mode. That's okay. That's normal. What matters is consistency. Keep practicing. Keep trying. Keep using English. Over time, the brain adapts. Neural pathways strengthen. English becomes more and more automatic. Maya followed these steps, not perfectly, not every single day, but consistently, persistently, and it worked. Part 9. The test. 1 year after Maya started her journey, she faced a real test. She was at an international conference for work. There were people from many different countries. Everyone spoke English. During a lunch break, Maya joined a conversation with 3 colleagues. They were talking about technology, about innovation, about the future, and something amazing happened. Maya joined the conversation naturally. She shared her opinions, she asked questions, she laughed at jokes, she made jokes, and the entire time she wasn't thinking about English. She wasn't translating. She wasn't searching for words. She was just communicating. The ideas flowed from her mind to her mouth in English, directly, naturally. At one point, she used a metaphor. She said, "I think AI is like fire. It can warm your home or burn it down. It depends on how you use it." Everyone nodded. One person said, "That's a great way to put it." Maya smiled, not just because they liked what she said, but because she had thought of that metaphor in English, in the moment, without planning it, without translating it. After the conversation, Maya walked outside. She stood alone for a moment, looking at the city skyline, and she thought to herself, I did it. I actually did it. In English, automatically, naturally. She had reached her goal, not perfectly. She still made mistakes sometimes. She still had moments where she searched for words. But English was no longer a barrier. It was a tool, a bridge, a part of who she was. Final part. Your journey begins. Now. So here's the truth I want you to understand. Thinking in English is not magic. It's not a talent that some people have and others don't. It's a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned. But it requires something from you. It requires commitment, patience, practice. You can't think in English by just studying grammar. You can't think in English by just memorizing vocabulary lists. You have to use English. You have to live with English. You have to make it personal. Start today, right now. Look around you and describe what you see in English. Say it in your mind. Say it out loud. Start that 1-minute practice. Talk to yourself in English. Yes, it will feel weird. Yes, you might feel silly, but who cares? No one is watching. No one is judging. This is for you. Label your emotions in English. When you're happy, think, I'm happy. When you're frustrated, think, I'm frustrated. Connect your feelings to English words. Stop translating. This is the hardest part, I know. Your brain will resist. It will want to go back to your native language. But gently, patiently, guide it back to English, again and again. And most importantly, be kind to yourself. You will make mistakes. You will have days where English feels difficult again. That's part of the journey. Don't give up. Don't quit. Remember Maya. She was just like you. She struggled. She doubted herself. She wanted to give up, but she kept going, one day at a time, one thought at a time, one sentence at a time, and she transformed her relationship with English. You can too. Thinking in English is not about being perfect. It's about being free, free to express yourself, free to connect with people from around the world, free to explore ideas and stories and knowledge in English. That freedom is waiting for you. It's not far away. It's not impossible. It's right here, right now, in this moment. All you have to do is start. One simple thought in English, that's all. Just one, and then another, and another, and another, until one day you wake up and realize you're not translating anymore, you're not struggling anymore, you're just thinking in English, naturally, easily, beautifully. That day will come, I promise you. If you practice, if you persist, if you believe in yourself, your journey starts now. Maya's story is over, but yours is just beginning. So close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath, and think your first thought in English, right now, whatever comes to your mind. That thought, that's the first step. That's where transformation begins. That's where everything changes. Welcome to your new journey. Welcome to thinking in English. Welcome to the freedom that comes with it. Now go, practice, believe, and become the person who thinks, dreams, and lives in English. You can do this. I know you can. Maya did it, and so will you. A